بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
إنك لا تنادي فهبوا يا بني قومي أسودا أعيدوا للدنا أمجاد عصر وفل بالحديد لنا القيود.
13 verse 8. This surah is talking that the God, he knew only what is inside the womb of the women. But by the way, it's not a big deal, because now we know that there's machines who can tell you if it is male or female.
Medical doctors are able to predict the sex of the baby to be by means of X-ray scan machinery. This knowledge does neither contradict the Quranic verse, only Allah knows all what the wombs contain, nor does man become participant, an associate, in ilm al-ghaib, the hidden knowledge of Allah. Refers to that type of knowledge which is self-present, not derived through apparent means, etc., whereas the doctors can only tell by means of X-ray scan machinery and other apparatus. The verse of the Quran refers to that knowledge which is omnipresent and neither derived nor acquired, and this is exclusive to Allah Almighty. Only Allah Almighty knows various conditions, specifications and circumstances of the womb, whether the fetus it contains is male or female, normal or abnormal, full-term birth or premature, normal birth or caesarean section, and what the exact date and time of birth shall be, and most important, what the fate of the child will be, pious or villainous, and fortunate or unfortunate. All these aspects are known to Allah Almighty when the fetus is still in the mother's womb. Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, after the nutfa drop of semen is in the womb for 40 or 45 nights, the angel enters and says, My Lord, will he be good or evil? Both will be written. Then he says, My Lord, would he be male or female? Both will be written. In addition, his deeds, actions, death and livelihood will be recorded. Then his document of destiny is rolled, and there shall be no addition to it or subtraction from it. Also, Allah's Messenger, the true and truly inspired, said, Every one of you is collected in the womb of his mother for the first 40 days in the form of a seed, and then he becomes a clot for another 40 days, and then a lump of flesh for another 40 days. Then Allah sends an angel to write 4 things. He writes his deeds, time of death, means of his livelihood, and whether he will be happy or unhappy in the hereafter. Then the soul is breathed into his body. So a man may do deeds characteristic of the people of hell until there is but an arm's length between him and hell, and that which has been written by the angel overtakes him, and so he begins to behave like the people of paradise, and thus he enters it. Similarly, a person may do deeds characteristic of people of paradise until there is but an arm's length between him and paradise, and that which has been written overtakes him, and so he behaves like the people of hell, and thus he enters it.
There is a man, he came to the Prophet, and he said to him, Hey Prophet, pray for me. My wife, she is pregnant for 4 years, and until now she did not do delivery. And before,
scholars such as Ibn Hasim al-Andalusi confirm it to be a fabrication, i.e., a false or made-up story. This story was made up by somebody after the Prophet Muhammad passed away. So Muhammad did not make the story up. On the same page of Tafsir al-Qurtubi, the one he used, the following is written. Abu Omar said, This matter has no source, which means it is unauthentic. Scholars agree that the shortest duration of pregnancy is at least 6 months based on the following hadith. Umar ibn al-Khattab wanted to stone a pregnant woman for giving birth after 6 months. Then Ali bin Abi Talib advised him, did not to do so based on the following verse from Quran 46:15. We have enjoined on man kindness to his parents. In pain did his mother bear him, and in pain did she give him birth. The carrying of the child to his weaning is a period of 30 months. And verse 2:232 the mothers shall give suck to their offspring for 2 whole years. So Umar let the women go because of that. If we assume the story is true, then it's easier to believe that a baby born after 4 years can live rather than to believe a woman can get herself pregnant without a man. Not only that, but also God came out of a woman's vagina. Read Matthew 1:18, 22-23, and Luke 1:34-35. The Jews give an answer to this dilemma by accusing Mary, the mother of Jesus God, of adultery with a Romanian soldier named Panthera. Talmud mentioned that she who played the harlot with carpenters.
הסרט השני.
הנוצרים מספרים לכם שמריה, אמו של ישו, הייתה בתולה, אבל זה לא נכון. ההוכחה לכך היא פשוטה. כשיוחנן המטביל היה תוקע לה במפתיע 2 אצבעות במותניים, מריה לא הייתה קופצת. חוץ מזה, אם מריה באמת הייתה בתולה, היא לא הייתה מציגה צעצועי מין חדשים בתוכנית הלילה של יוספוס פלביוס. האמת היא שבגיל 15 מריה נכנסה להיריון מחבר לכיתה, והוריה רצו למסור אותה למנזר. אבל היות
However, this is not what Muslims believe. I am just giving the argument to debunk this clown. The Quran and Hadith have given Mary and Jesus, peace be upon them, all the respect they deserve as a prophet of God, and his mother is considered one of the most righteous women.
Because his birth date, he himself, was 4 years after the death of his father, which means his mom, she was having an affair. So Muhammad was trying to prove himself that I am not the only kid can be his mother pregnant for 4 years.
This a fabricated narration. Both narrators Umar al-Waqidi and Abdullah bin Umar were known to be liars and have been condemned by many Islamic scholars. Imam Shafi'i says that the books written by al-Waqidi are nothing but heaps of lies. Ibn Ali al-Madini and his father said, al-Waqidi has 20,000 hadith I never heard of. And then he said, his narration shouldn't be used, and considered it weak. It is depressing to note this filthy liar, the Islamophobe, would make such a claim against a lady's honor without any regard for truth or decency. First, it is agreed upon by historians, genealogists and theologians alike that the parents of Muhammad were Amina and Abdullah. One Ibn Kathir states he, Muhammad, was the son of Abdullah, who was in turn the son of his father Abdul-Muttalib. 2. Karen Armstrong names Muhammad's father as Abdullah. 3. Prophet Muhammad told us who his father was, Abdullah, whilst giving his genealogy to us. I am Muhammad, son of Abdullah bin Abdul-Muttalib bin Hashim bin Abdul Manaf. He went on to give mention to his forefathers all the way up to and including bin Nizar. In the same narration Muhammad tells us, I was the product of true marriage, not fornication, right down from Adam to my father and mother. Second, all Muhammad's contemporaries considered him to be the son of Abdullah. 1. Whilst agreeing the contract/treaty of Hudaybiyah, the Prophet initially wanted his name signed as Muhammad, the Messenger of Allah, but his enemies disagreed and wanted him to use his own name and the name of his father, and thus the treaty was signed with the name Muhammad, the son of Abdullah. Thus showing even the enemies of Muhammad considered Abdullah to be the father of Muhammad too, narrated Abdullah bin Abbas. Abu Sufyan bin Harb informed me that Heraclius had sent a messenger to him while he had been accompanying a caravan from Quraysh. They were merchants doing business in Sham at the time when Allah's apostle had truce with Abu Sufyan and Quraysh infidels. So Abu Sufyan and his companions went to Heraclius at Jerusalem. Abu Sufyan ended. Heraclius told his translator to tell my companions that he wanted to put some questions to me regarding that man, the Prophet, and that if I told a lie they, my companions, should contradict me. The first question he asked me about him was, "What is his family status amongst you?" I replied, "He belongs to a good, noble family amongst us." Most historians state his, Abdullah's, death was 2 months before the birth of Muhammad. Some others state his death was 2 or more months after the Prophet's birth. So the missionary is making stuff up. Nobody believes he was born 4 years after the death of his father, Abdullah. I would advise this Islamophobe to stop in his attempts to malign the good name of past personalities. Wrongly accusing a lady of adultery is not a matter to be taken lightly.
But you, draw near, sons of the sorceress, offspring of the adulterer and the loose woman. But you, draw near, sons of the sorceress, offspring of the adulterer and the loose woman.